AI, what's happening is that it is going to be quite a disaster, a positive manner as well as negative manner. People who don't want to, change, they will have the worst nightmare.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Clarity Amidst Clutter. This is your host, Sriya Kundu. And well, we're back with another episode. And today's episode, I'm just going to start with this one word that I'll throw out there: artificial intelligence. It's a topic, it's a trending topic that everybody has been discussing about for a couple of years now. But the reason why it has come up again as a discussion is the extent to which it is being used, and it is now being used in ways that we hadn't really fathomed, or even if we had, we thought that it might be a few more years before it could get this effective and at this large a scale. And well, today, to join me in this discussion, I have an expert on this subject. And well, I would, without further ado, I would like to welcome him, Mr. Subhobroto Chakraborty. Welcome to the podcast. And he's an entrepreneur. He's the founder of the Digital Fellow. And he is also a speaker at several of these seminars, special seminars, which take place in several universities, colleges, and he's definitely an expert in the subject. Welcome to the show.
Thank
How are
you.
you?
Thank you so much. I'm good. Thank you.
It's been quite some time that artificial intelligence has been making a mark in several sectors as we speak of it right now. And in fact, Goldman Sachs recently came up with a report wherein it has predicted that 300 million jobs in the US and Europe are under threat. And these are across industries, are under threat, and they're all white collar jobs that we're talking about. Now, the problem here that we're going to discuss today is based more on AI driven and AI generated content creation platforms that we're talking about. And in fact, if I remember correctly, Mr. Chakraborty, back in 2019 is the first time you had told me in the conversation that we had that, AI can end up writing scripts in no time. And while it was very unbelievable at that time that it can do so, it has become a reality today.
Yes, very true. Very, very true. In fact, yes, we saw when there's a transformation of technology, point 0.1, 0.2, 0.3.0, 3.0. So right now, so this transformation, we saw there are certain industries or there are certain jobs which got affected when the internet came, when the first website started coming up. Then mobility came, so it fueled the mobile industry, communication industry, so on and so. But it didn't affect all industries.
Right.
During the COVID time, we saw there are certain industry which sparked like online, like anything with online and internet. It fueled, but it didn't affect all. In fact, many industry got shut down because they were not online because of COVID. But we saw whenever there's a technology, there's always a disruption which happened in few sectors.
Right.
Now the problem is AI is agnostic to all the sector, all the jobs, everything around us. So what will happen now? As of now, we have been growing. We have been managing one or two industries, or maybe 10, 15 types of role. But now
Right.
AI is going to hit 360-degree around us. So AI is no more the future. It is not knocking at the door. It is
It's
sitting
the
next
present.
to you. It is actually sitting next to you and trying to replace you.
Right.
So that's the reason. It's going to be frightening as well as quite a disaster for people who don't want to change. So what we saw, the technology pushed us, right? So now AI, what's happening is that it is going to be quite a disaster, a positive manner as well as negative manner. People who don't want to, change, they will have the worst nightmare. But people who want to adapt will have an amazing time.
Right. I mean, it's been hitting us like a it's taken us all in with its with the phenomena that has hit us like a brick right now. And well, like I said, we'll discuss about the AI generated platforms that are now being used by content creating bodies, content creating companies. So, influencers itself, the influencer trend has become a big thing now, especially I think it picked up a lot during the pandemic, where influencers have gone out all out there and they are heavily driven by this trend based content that goes out on these platforms, especially on social media. Now, what AI has started doing is it's easier. Obviously, it's easier for a machine to keep a track of these trends and to create content which is based on these trends. And it's of course it's way more effective than a human being. Like if a human being sits down and tries tracking trends across like 5 different platforms, an AI which has all the data fed into it already will be able to do it way quicker for sure. But the point is, what people I think hadn't really thought of is the creativity, or rather the innovation that comes in, the component that comes in when it comes to content creation, which is why even the Goldman Sachs report that I was reading had said that media or entertainment, art, design, these industries are not going to get that affected as much as industries like probably health or finance or transportation. But the reality of the situation that we are seeing right now is we have a news channel, we have an Indian news channel right now, India Today, which has a weather reporter, weather anchor rather, that is AI made. And then I think it was Kuwait News, it was a very regional based news channel, Kuwait News, which had first introduced this anchor, which is AI based. So if we are going out there, and even if a field like journalism feels the threat of an AI generated device or an AI generated bot that can actually anchor, present news. I mean, where are we headed then?
Yeah, okay. So I see it in a very different level, and that's in the sense is that people who understand any domain. So now I think I should, to answer this question, I need to show you a diagram, if you can allow me. Whoever is doing, just I don't, I'm sure the
Oh, the problem is the screen basically that is getting recorded. It's not possible to share the screen because it's getting recorded. What you can do is you can explain the diagram and then you
perfect,
can send me the diagram. I'll insert it as visual.
perfect.
Yeah.
So let me share. There's something called. Can you see me right now?
Yeah, I can see you.
So now there is something called a T-shaped and a V-shaped employee
Hmm.
or work, whoever wants to work. So now I'm going to explain now why and how the AI is going to eat 90% of the career, and how to get rid of it, how to save yourself or whoever in whatever industry, be it influencer, content marketing, designing, whatever, right? AI is
Right.
going to be everywhere. Now, what I mean by T-shaped marketing is that you have only one knowledge, which is maybe only content writing. If you
Hmm.
only understand content writing, it's going to be a difficult work for you, because AI average AI generally takes generally perform 10x of a human being, or sometime 100x of him. So it's very difficult for someone to write content so fast the way AI will write, right? So
Hmm.
the next generation, or now what people should do, you should get into V-shaped marketing, which means you should have a other understanding along with content writing. If you do that, then it's become because easy for the corporate to hire you, because they're not only hiring a content person, they can hire a research person, they can hire an ACO related content, which are discovered by the robots. Because when we write content, previously when we were writing content, we were writing content for human being. So writing is to come up in newspaper, people is to read. Writing is to content is to come on magazine, people is to read. So those writing are for human. Now you don't write for human first. First you write for Google first, so that Google will able to
Right.
understand you. So whoever is searching for that content, Google will able to push that content to that person. So if
Right.
if a typical old traditional writer is only writing from the perspective of human, without understanding ACO, keywords, and so on and so forth, it will be very difficult for him to get lost. Will Google will never find. Around 40% of the website are not found by Google, because people
Hmm.
their website are not enabled enough so that Google will be able to discover. Now
Right.
coming to the next point is there's a diagram which I created, which I will share with you, which you will able to see. If I talk about the technology adoption since it was the theory made by Rogers in 1971. So there are early innovators, which is 2.5 of the in the population will move. Then there are early adopters, there are early majority, and late majority and laggards. So
Right, right.
this is so if you break the entire ecosystem into a triangle, and if you
Mm-hmm.
slice up into four part, these are the
Mm-hmm.
now the top part is the innovators, people who will first move. They always join because they want to figure out what is new. Second is early adopters who wants to only join because they see there's a benefit. This is around 13%.
Right.
And the big chunk is the early majority who wants to join because they want to get a productivity gain. So 34, 16, 20, almost like 40% of the population who understand, who adopt technology, whatever it can be, mobile, it can be web, it can be anything related technology. They will first they get the movers advantage of the AI. Now, as
Right,
we speak, there are as we speak, I still, because I was following AI since I think last 2 years, and
right. Hmm.
that's the reason I spoke on 2019. So
Yes. Hmm.
2019, my entire content department uh, vanished. So in my
Okay.
company, there's only one person who just tweak content, who's not. So the entire content is produced by AI.
So they're
So
just editing it.
little bit of editing, tweaking
Little
it.
bit of editing, right?
So that's it. So you don't need an 8 hours content writer, English
Hmm.
literature or PhD or some. We don't
Hmm.
need that person.
Hmm.
Even if you
Right.
need that
Hmm.
person, you will need that person maybe for 3 days in a week. You will not need that person 30 days in a month. That's the problem.
Okay. Hmm.
So that is the reason, and the amount of fatigue a writer will have, a content person will have. If you ask some content writer to produce, a 15 new concept, that person will
Hmm.
find out. You will not able to produce.
Absolutely.
So
Hmm.
it's impossible. I still remember we could only produce 4 or 5 blogs of 1,000 words. I used to tell those things, and she used to write those, voice into a content and then into a blog. Uh,
Hmm.
Four was very difficult for some human being to write because you have to do a lot of research, understand,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
most of the content writer don't come from digital background. So comprehending, understanding different,
Hmm.
so that juggling is to happen, and that person could only make 4 or 5.
Right.
I
Yeah,
I
there
feel
was this news website, CNET, which later confirmed there was this speculation about them producing feature articles for that matter by their AI generated platforms. And it just got confirmed back in 2022 that they were actually doing that.
yes. I still remember in 2016 or 2017, I
Hmm.
went to a conference and I was told that Cosmopolitan, Vogue, Happy Bazaar, all these magazines, 60-70% of the content are not written by human, they're written by robots. So because AI started, yeah, long back. So what is happening is that one Sunday, I think I still remember 4 and 5 hours I was trying to learn this AI content generation, blogs and article. I think 4 to 5 hours time, I produced 22 articles in
Oh
just
my
4 hours.
God.
Each article is 1,000 pages. Each
1,000 pages.
Yes. So,
Oh
so
my
it's easy
God.
to do that. And
Hmm.
not only that, they're all ACO enabled. Most of the headlines and the things are there's something called headline analyzer. Human
Right.
brain needs certain amount of the words, 3 to 4
Hmm.
words, or max to max
Hmm.
24 character. Beyond that, human brain will not able to read. See, another problem has happened. The content
Hmm.
generation has become so much complex because the space has reduced. In hoarding, it
Right.
was huge space. Newspaper was huge, but
Hmm.
right now the
Hmm.
entire communication is happening in a 2 inch to 3 inch screen. So in a 3 inch screen, to
Hmm.
hold your attention for a long time, it is a very, very difficult thing to do.
Right, absolutely.
Is
Hmm.
the reason I think the majority of the problem is happening is that content creators are finding it very difficult because most of them are old school. Most of them thought that why do I need to learn SEO, because that's not my job. Most of them thought, why do I need to understand, technology? Because I'm happy with a pen and a paper, and I want to
Right.
get like this. It's like when Kotak also thought that no one is going to get into, digital, because people wants to feel paper and people wants to feel. So they got, what happens to Kotak. So I think if
Right.
you are not adapting, technology is going to be very difficult. Another thing is going
Right.
to happen is that people who are adapters, early adapters, and early majority, these are the companies or the people will actually bring in fourth thing. You need
Okay.
trained people and skill to adapt this culture.
Okay.
So people who are right now in my company, I'm trying to teach everybody AI. So understood, because in next, maybe not in 2 years, in next 10 months, I will get the best of the advantage, number one. So I will generate these people, and I'm sure like us, like me, many other companies are investing into people. We
Right.
You can only invest into people and get the best out of them, provided you have culture and environment in your company. So this set of companies will actually produce more skilled, future, experienced AI related driven marketeers, content creators, so on and so forth.
Right.
Okay. So from video, I will tell you something else which may also shock you, because I saw in one of the AI is that I'm sure we know, but we have never seen that disaster coming. We may not need a hero or a heroine for a 40 days or a 50-day shoot. We may need that hero for maybe 30 minutes in a studio, where he's going to only give his with the help of deep fake, we can only take his picture, photographs, and the entire movie we don't need that person. Someone will act, and you just put his deep fakes picture, and we can pay him an X amount of royalty, which means
Wow.
so so it is already happening in Hollywood. They already tested. So the entire 2 hours movie, you don't need actors. Actor cannot say I'm busy. Actor he doesn't cannot say I am in London shooting, I cannot come to Kolkata, right? Like that. So all these things is going to happen, which
But do
means
you think it's gonna be a backup? Like if the actor needs to fly out, they can fly out because they have that AI based bot made of them. But do you think that's gonna be used as a backup, or do you think we are heading towards a direction where that is what is gonna be needed for the
that
shoot?
is going to happen very fast, because production company, when they test this blood, they're not going to run away. They're going to make sure that, okay, I'll pay you only 2 days of you being in this one studio. You don't need to do anything. You just give you a special expression, and that's it. After that, pack up and you go home, and we'll make the entire movie. So
I'm actually very curious to know what about all the like acting is a skill. It needs expressions. It needs emotions to be expressed, right?
25 lines 25 times, and it's free. It's in a beta stage. Last night I was trying out. You can try it.
Right.
It's clone GPT. You have to only talk 25 times. The GPT will learn your voice, and whatever text you're going to throw, it is going to, including including that, it will pick up.
Wow, so just 25 lines and a movie is made.
So this is going to happen.
Right, right.
No more a futuristic Matrix movie we are seeing. This is happening around us, right?
Oh
Uh,
my God.
this is happening
Right.
around us. Yeah.
One more question I have, which is circling back to what you were talking about, the two models T and V that you were talking about initially. Well, you said that we should focus more on the V-shaped model where you have more number of skills. But like if we look at AI, they right now AI is not just producing content, but it is also there are AI generated platforms which helps you with the SEO, and there are AI generated platforms that help you with the research. So AI basically is giving you the whole package. So then where is the human resource needed?
Okay. So here, what is going to happen right now? AI is going to fight with AI, which means there are AI for SEO, there are AI for research, there are AI for content, and within content, you have content for article, blog, white paper, research, social media content, headline analysis, social media, post, everything. So if someone start learning around this zone, he's safe, because a company will not going to hire 5 people. Company is going to hire only 1 people. Because marketing department is going to get shrinker, is going to get smaller and smaller, including production houses everywhere. the department will get smaller. You need only 1 or 2 or 3 people. You don't need 40 people.
Okay.
Okay, for the last 2 years,
Mm.
my content team used to have 4 people, 4 full-time people. For the last 2 years, I don't have a single people, and there's no problem in it.
And it's all going smoothly.
Not only smoothly, I can scale up the way I
It's
want.
more efficient. It is more efficient. Right. Right.
Because
But what about writers? Like if like there are like we have Chat GPT now, right? So I'll tell you a personal experience of mine. There was one day I really didn't have time to go through a lot of articles regarding a particular topic, and I just entered this particular subject, and it gave me an entire script ready as to like the information regarding that particular subject in a concise, comprehensive manner, right? But the point is, when it's a journalist who's writing this, there is definitely a difference between, like, yes, there are nuances that are going to be played with by that particular author. There are a couple of aspects that are looked into which a robot particularly does not probably take into
absolutely,
consideration,
absolutely.
because robot has they're made in a particular way, they're fed data in a particular way that they're going to just project whatever information they have in a concise manner. But do you think this too will get, to a point where the robot will start playing with nuances of a particular topic and, like, look
Yes
into
and
other
no.
aspects?
Yes and no. Because right now we are all in a beta stage. Right now, I think 4 months back, around 2000. Right now, we have around 4100 uh, AI available right now. There are
Hmm.
dictionaries of AI available, which means the way you figure out a word, you can go to a AI
Hmm.
dictionary, type what type of thing you want, it will tell you. Now,
Right.
answered your questions that uh, imagine all of us have iPhone. Imagine,
Right. Hmm.
do all of us produce great videos? No.
No.
All of
Hmm.
us are great photographer? No.
No.
If you
Hmm.
give a phone to a photographer who understand composition, that person will able to take less shots, click, and take the right image. Whereas amateur, if you give a phone to an amateur, he may take 2000 images and 1 or 2 will be good. So same
Right.
thing will happen
Hmm.
on AI. So if
Hmm.
the person is a writer,
Hmm.
another and something I must tell you, AI is it's like what garbage in, garbage out. So
Right. Hmm.
if
It's
uh,
just input output. Hmm.
input output. So if a qualified researcher or analyst or someone else feed a right amount of data, and there's a process of giving feeds to the software, it is called
Hmm.
prompt. So it's called prompt, which means
Right.
when you give a prompt, if you say I am looking on a storyboard with a romantic storyboard for kids, it will
Hmm.
generally give you a story. But if you give a prompt, I want to make you tell me a story about X and Y. The
Hmm.
background is the background is on the 1970s, and this is
Hmm.
prehistoric or independence time in India, and the tonality of the story is going to be, so what should be the tone? Or there will be 4 or 5 character. They're going to be 5 tracks, and the fourth track will meet. These are the characters. This character will behave in such manner. If you give this feedback, then your story is going to be an amazing. By the way, there is a story writing chat GPT also available, by which it not only writes the book, it also makes the cover image, front image, and the back image, and it also helps you to push it onto Kindle, Amazon, and you can write book without even writing it. But yes, definitely, if you're a writer,
Hmm.
imagine the hero's journey. Imagine someone
Right.
who
Hmm.
knows not able to produce that great story.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Imagine
Hmm.
someone who
Hmm.
know hero's journey, he will able to give much more deeper insights, because what computer expect is a context. Most of us
Right. Hmm.
right now, if around us, people are playing with ChatGPT. They don't
Hmm.
know how to
Hmm.
use it.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll tell you something else, and this is going to be quite a disaster. In a simple language, if I tell you, if I show you this, since I cannot show you, but you can see it later on, is that how old is LinkedIn? Imagine 21 years. How old
Not
is
much.
Facebook? 19 years. How
Hmm.
old is Twitter? 17 years. So recently I did a digital maturity study across 500 CXOs, CEOs. I am going to publish it on LinkedIn very
Hmm.
soon. It's
Hmm.
almost, it is getting designed. So I got 500 resources. and I did a digital maturity audit of the digital person of India, digital managers, digital CXO, digital heads, so on and so forth. I figure out 30% don't understand digital marketing. So there's a rise of digital fake marketer. There will be rise of the AI generator. So people are going to fake. People are going to fake. So getting a right person is also going to be quite difficult.
Difficult, right,
So
right.
people don't know how to use a Twitter
Hmm.
after 9 years. People don't know how
Hmm.
to write a LinkedIn after 21 years. So do you think they're going to adapt? So in that bridge, which I says that laggards will
Hmm.
never, how hard you give them, they will still not. So
They
they
will never learn. Hmm.
now what
Right.
will happen? They're going to get thrown away. So
They'll
thought
just become obsolete and irrelevant in the race of it.
absolutely.
But so from what I could gather from what you're saying is the fact that it is definitely changing. It's definitely going to change the course of how content works. But like people are very scared of it completely taking over the job market. That is not going to be the case. You
No,
just have to adapt to what it's giving you so that you can make the best use of it. Am
absolutely.
I right?
Imagine some news correspondent is going to write a thesis or a background of certain industry.
Hmm. Right. Hmm.
Renewable energy. So at
Hmm.
this point, maybe 4 or 5 interns is
Hmm.
digging out old data. There may be 2 or 3 senior, junior people who are researching on this, and there's one senior, writer who's going to
Hmm.
get all those stuff and write the final, stuff.
Right.
With one person, she can do this job. She doesn't need 4 or 5 people.
Hmm.
So which means she can expertise. She can take less time and produce more.
More. Right.
If
Right.
she is not willing to do this,
Hmm.
the company will say, we don't need you for full time, we only need you for 15 days, which
Hmm.
means his salary, his job, his EMI, his entire family is going to affect it.
Right.
That is
Hmm.
what.
Right.
So AI is not eating jobs. So someone who know AI will eat your job.
Ah, right. I think that's very well put. That's very well put. And another thing, now that you have actually come to the topic of journalism and like content creation in this particular media industry for that matter, there is this recent article I was reading on the Times of India wherein all these experts were talking about how we are also going to look forward to something wherein a particular AI generated platform is going to help uh, making probably one thing which is getting delivered in English. So, for example, our news channel, an English news channel, is delivering news in English. So, this particular AI platform will help translating that in real time into different languages. So, basically, if a viewer starts watching it in English and then they want it translated in Bengali or Marathi or Kannada, whatever they want it in, they can actually use this platform and it will get translated. It's
It
still
is
in its
already there.
experimental stage. They're still working around it. But what can you tell us about that?
It is already there. There are a
It's
lot of
already there.
YouTubers. There's a lot of YouTubers and across the world. There are 4 YouTubers. Uh,
Hmm.
so they are already making their YouTube video in 10 to 15 languages without being paying for the dubbing cost.
So this
And
actually is very cost effective instead of what people say that it's gonna cost us more.
okay,
It's
I'll tell you
actually
the
the other
simple
way
cost.
around.
I'll tell you simple cost.
Hmm.
So a content writer, a
Hmm.
good content writer in Delhi with some 10 years experience or 15 years experience will cost you close to 50 to 1 lakh rupees minimum, right? A
Hmm.
content writer, right? If 35, 40,000 to 1 lakh rupees based on his experience, right? Which
Hmm.
is every month you're going to pay. Imagine it's 50,000 rupees or 70,000 rupees. A good copymatic or copy AI. These are two
Hmm.
content AI software which I use personally. Is Will cost you 1,600 rupees, $20.
This episode is not only just going to enlighten people, but it's also going to help them understand that what is important is you need to upskill, you need to help your own self out. It's not that your job is at risk, you are at risk simply because of your ignorance,
Absolutely.
simply because you are not catching up on time. And I think this has been true for all technological advancements, like you brought it in here yourself, like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. I mean, how many years has it been? Honestly, if we look at the timeline, it should still be in its experimental stage, and it is.
Yeah,
Because
people
even
don't
us
know
as
how
a
to do that.
newsroom,
Ab-
even us as a newsroom, we are experimenting as to how to push out content and how can it be used most effectively to make our content available to as many people out there.
Absolutely. Because if you see 100 people around you, around
Right.
your job, around your personal life, around your family,
Hmm.
you will not find 5 people out of 100 people who regularly use Twitter,
That's
who
true.
regularly
That's
contribute.
true.
So there's something, a rule called 91, 99, and 1. So
Hmm.
this is a concept which came as the internet culture by Ben McLean and Jackie, which is a rule of
Hmm.
99, 9, and 1, which means 90% of the community across
Hmm.
technology, internet, since the technology
Hmm.
internet can do nothing.
It's
Do
that big a number?
9, yes, 9%
Okay.
only like, share, and comment and forward, and only 1% of the entire digital community who produced content, which means, and this is, I also did another study, which is a 75 plus industries across 1000 brands. I did a study which is
Right.
already getting published. It's already there on my website. There, you pick up any industries there. Power, FMCG, durable, textile. I went to this industry, picked
Hmm.
up 15 top brands in that industry. Even is
Right.
imagine it's jewelry. So I picked up the
Hmm.
15 top brands. Then I
Hmm.
went individual brands, social media, and then I did an audit. And the result is shocking because and there's a relationship between this industry audit and people
Hmm.
audit in terms of the digital maturity. Most of the industry is below 30. So their
Below
digital
30.
maturity is 30.
Okay.
Because it is quite common. See, if you
Hmm.
keep entire triangle, the 1%
Hmm.
of Hindustan Lever or ITCs of the world or Pepsis or Coke of the world, you should
Hmm.
not take that as, because they don't
Yeah,
drive
yeah.
it,
That's not
right?
the
So
common
common
demographic.
thing. So,
Hmm.
so below the triangle, which is the belly of the triangle, which
Hmm.
is the
Hmm.
fatter part, which
Hmm.
is SME, small scale industry,
Hmm.
middle size, they are the one who drives industries, India's GDP. These people are ignorant. They can't, they have still not able to control, manage, optimize social media, digital website. Their website are so poor. So obviously they will not able to adapt AI. So don't worry what will happen. There will be, so these people are going to get thrashed by the people who will adopt AI faster. So when you adopt AI faster, you reduce cost faster. When you
Right.
reduce cost faster, you make more profit. When you make more profit, you pay more money to get more hired qualified AI. So the lower
Right.
bottom of the industry will not able to hire AI because the AI guy will charge you 2 lakh rupees.
Hmm.
The top guy will able to hire. So late adoption will also cost them, and they will be, lot of company will shut down. Lot of company will shut down because they will, because of adapting at a late stage. It's like
That is the problem. The adaptation at the later stage is the issue, not the fact that people are scared. What people are scared of is the fact that they're scared that their jobs will be taken away from them. I think that is the major
yeah,
misconception
I
here,
think,
which
yeah,
got cleared today. Hmm.
everybody is scared because, see, human being don't want change. They're happy with whatever they're doing. This
Hmm.
is the
Hmm.
problem because AI is going to
Hmm.
challenge this. So,
Right.
if you are not a student
Hmm.
to learn something, what is
Hmm.
happening, then it's going to be very difficult for you to manage business, and
Right.
this career. And
Hmm.
because if that one guy is running the family, is how is a main income holder of that family, if
Hmm.
he is obsolete, imagine people around in the family are going to get hit because he could not evolve. So that is going to happen.
Right, absolutely. So, one more thing. So, this number that you spoke of, the 90% of people fail to adapt. This is true even after, like, people have gotten so big on influencer culture, and like people are trying to use it as much as they can, and they're making use of social media platforms.
Okay, let me tell you. So when I say these 1000 brands, which means I personally, my team personally audited 1000 brands, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Medium, social,
Hmm.
Twitter, everything.
Hmm.
So one thing is
Hmm.
that most of the brands are run by people who don't understand digital marketing.
Right. Right.
So you hire a wrong people to do a digital job. So what is happening? The
The
you hire,
matchmaking is wrong there. Hmm.
so that's the risk Need a people audit to get a confirmation, because the people are unskilled. They have been giving a wrong, they cannot manage. They cannot manage social media. See, influencer, how many influencers there in India? There are around roughly around 5 lakh influencers in India right now. Around 5 lakhs, only 1.5 lakhs who make money. Around
Money.
money, who makes money. Around these 1.5 lakhs, only 15 people make loads of money, which is I don't want to name individually, but there's someone who do gadgets, who talks on gadgets and machine and software, and these that guy makes 378 crore every year. Rest of
Oh,
the
wow.
rest of the people who make funny videos, most of the faces you have seen, I have seen, they make around 5 cr to 12 cr average, or sometimes, and then there's someone
Okay.
famous 40 crore annual average, but they're only 5 or 6 or 2% of the 1 5 lakh community. So that's the
And if we compare that to the population of India, it's
very
minuscule.
small. It's very
It's
small.
minuscule. Absolutely.
So what is happening also? These influencer have taken the jobs of hero and heroines, because the sponsorship
Right.
was, if you have to pay, I don't want to name any individual, hero, heroes or star. So if you have to pay a star, you have to cost 10-15 crore. Whereas you can get 50 top influencer, make 50 reels, their reach are far more engaging, because so that's the reason. So the influencer are taking away the jobs of these stars. This was unheard few years back. So it
Right.
was, a popular star used to eat away super, another popular, star's job. Now someone else is eating your.
It's gone the other way around. But I'm sure the audience has already gathered a picture of the reality and what is going on the ground here and how should they be prepared to deal with the situation. And you put across a lot of points, a lot of important points very insightfully. And I think the best thing right now would be if you would give us a closing remark as to I mean, you've already discussed in length as to where we are headed, but a closing remark on how this entire situation plays out.
So I see, let me talk about only the career part, job
Hmm.
industry we
Hmm.
spoke.
Hmm.
I see a huge push coming from the top. So there are a lot of, the top, the triangle's top part, which are people who are right now working on AI, people who are hiring AI, where people are training AI. They are going to get, because the demand is huge and the supply is less. So
Hmm.
right now the AI people will make little less money. They will not be able to make more money. So not talking about exception few companies, but what will happen in the next 1 or 2 years time, the AI individual career related to content or anything else, a Photoshop. You don't. Another thing is that you don't need a Photoshop. You can able to do that with Adobe New Fly, where you can just
Right. Hmm.
you don't.
Hmm.
So the many skills, something which was skill few years back is irrelevant now. Which means knowing a rickshawala or a taxi guy, to hire him to go to find places to eat, was a skill to that person. Now Uber and Ola and Google has obsolete that skill. So same thing
Right.
happens that. So I see the huge movement will happen in the next 2 years time, and
2 years, you're saying.
yeah, in next 2 years time, because the
Okay.
adoption will take some time, because most people
Hmm.
are still figuring
Hmm.
out what to do.
I
But
mean, I don't think the viewers out there think that 2 years is too long a time.
But 2 years
It's
time, disaster
scary.
is going to happen. Disaster is going to happen. People are going to lose, because I know, I don't can't tell you the name of the company. One of the largest big four. He has hired a set of 2 or 3 people. Their job is to go to each department across the country to find people by whom can be replaced by AI. And his project ends after 2 years. And the end of the project, he has to fire himself. That's the problem. In next 2 years, now there's not much demand. Now the demand is less, so you can still have the time to learn. But
Learn.
after one
And you
year, you
can
will
be
not have the
the
time to learn.
first few.
The problem of AI is going to be more quite dangerous, because of the administrative government body, institution, and education institution are not taking it seriously. Which means, if I've been teaching in 60 odd business college schools, not much school have AI as a important subject to be taught. So that's the reason. If you're not teaching the students the importance of AI at the school level, when they come out in a college and they come out to look for a job, by that time they're trying to learn and get a job, they're already outdated. Think about
Right. I think what you mean is like we don't even have it as an elementary subject,
it.
which is compulsory for that matter, if I'm not wrong.
And
Right?
just to, yes, and just to, just to, and this is so sad, just to make sure the student doesn't create any ruckus, they have created only 2 hours or 1 hour or two lectures of AI. With the help of 2 hours of
Mhm.
lecture, how do you expect that person will
Can't.
survive in the AI driven environment? So who is responsible? The student are not responsible. The government and the, because to change a syllabus, I've been also in the board in few colleges where I help to make the syllabus. I have purposely said, please put 10-15 hours of AI, because most of the subject you're putting is outdated. Those subjects are not required, right?
Makes
So it's
sense.
not a useful. So most of the
Absolutely.
colleges, institution, I think from your age and my age, we have been taught of something for information and not useful. So cos theta and tan theta you're not using in your daily life. The
That
geometry
is
you're not
something I've
using
been
in daily.
telling people for ages now.
So what Akbar and what what happens to the mythological thing may not, you're not able to use it. But if you're not
Mhm.
going to, so these are quite a problem.
Application based subjects are more important, especially if we are headed towards this future. Might as
Very
well
difficult.
get it included in the
Yeah, you need
curriculum
to
on a
solve the
daily
problem.
basis.
You can't say that it's not in my AI. It's like, someone fall on the floor and people say, "Is there any doctor?" And doctor comes and that person said that, okay, I think he got a heart attack. The doctor said, "Oh, my education level was up to the knee or elbow. I cannot go till the heart."
Uh,
So
hmm.
that's a problem.
It's
That's
of
a
no use.
that's
Hmm.
huge. So that's a
Absolutely,
problem.
absolutely. I think that's an important point you've added here. I think that gives us a clarity, and as this episode had aimed at to gain some clarity as to what is going on. And I'm sure, yes, you've said that we are headed towards a disaster, but like I said, and I think it's important for us to understand that the disaster is going to hit us only and only if we choose not to adapt. There is a way around it. It's not like it's the end of the world with AI, or that AI is going to take over the world and an apocalypse is hitting us. It's absolutely not a situation of that sort. What is important for us to understand is that we can tackle the situation. It's just another technology update that is getting introduced across industries. And what you have to do is you have to catch up with that trend and you have to just learn how to use it, and you're good to go. And well, thank you so much, Mr. Chakraborty, for joining us on this episode of Clarity Amidst Clutter. Till the next episode, this was Sriya Kundu with CNN News 18's podcast. Thank you so much for joining. Till the next time, see
Thank
you.
you so
Bye
much.
bye.